Hello. How are you? All right. Another day. Go me, go me. All right. So today I am going to work on October 1st fauxbonichi page. I don't know what else I'm going to do. I'm trying not to like schedule too much things so that I don't know. Anyways, in the fauxbonichi group, which is linked down below if you're interested, I set a challenge for October to use die cut equipment, your tools for die cutting, and then pre-made die cuts. Or if you don't have any of that, you're more than welcome to just cut your own out, which is, it's not a die cut, but I guess it kind of could be. I don't know. It's so loosely termed. Who cares? Mostly it's about stash busting, using what you've got up. So, I'm going to use on this page a bunch of die cuts, and the main reason I started the challenge last month, it was alphas, and so I was hoping to get rid of a whole bunch of alphas, but I didn't. I did, but they just multiply like rabbits. And so I'm going to probably continue with that because I don't know. Why not? Anyways, in this month, it's to use up die cuts and ephemera. And there's also doodles. You can doodle and stuff like that. It's just for fun. It's not like anything, But I haven't used my die cutter. I'll insert some pictures here on my stacks and stacks of die cutting tools. I have a silhouette that I haven't dug out of the drawer in forever. And then I have stacks and stacks of pre-bought, the die cuts that come in all these packets. So I thought, well, that's going to be this month's stash. Or not de-stash, but, use it up, stash busting. So today I am going to do that with food. I have a whole collection of stuff. Every time I see something come out that has anything to do with cooking or any kind of that kind of stuff, I snatch it up because I do a lot of cooking. People often ask me if I like to cook, and I really don't. But I do like to eat. And I like to eat good food, and so we cook a lot. I think I'm going to move my lights. I have them over there, and I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, moving them this way. Anyways, we'll see. They're softbox lights, but so they're ginormous. And so we'll see how that goes. But maybe in the next video, there'll be like a shadow this way. I don't know. But anyways, let me cut these apart. These are the photos that I'm using today. And I don't know, does it need to be down a bit more, or is this okay? I'll try to crop it instead of zooming in. But we made Mexican meat loaf burgers and muffins the other day, and because we found a compliant bread for living whole food plant-based, and so, well, not bread, we know of that, but we finally had access to hamburger buns that are that way, and I can bake. I've learned to bake in the last 5 years, and I'm not too bad at it, but making buns, squishy, soft buns, that is really hard, and it's really hard to do if you're trying to use whole grain flour. I can make squishy buns out of just regular bread flour, but it's pretty highly processed. And for some things, I actually do use that. I use it for like making sticky buns, because let's be real, there's nothing healthy about a sticky bun. No. And so, that's that we make it that way. But let me get these cut apart and we'll keep talking here. Okay, so that is those pictures cut apart. I think I need to move this. And then I need to turn this. There we go. That's a little better. All right. Well, we'll try that for now. I have cords strung everywhere. Anyway, so yeah. And so we made this Mexican meat. It's not meat. Loaf recipe that I found. Mostly because we found bread and therefore we needed burgers. And I turned the meatloaf recipe into a burger recipe. We also made meatloaf. We made it into muffins, and we made it into little balls, like, meatballs. And then we had leftovers last night for dinner and turned what was left of meatloaf into tacos. So on my Facebook page, I posted meatloaf 2 ways, but it technically was 4 ways because we turned it into 4 different things. So that was kind of funny. But anyways, I gotta find my chair here. I thought we would dig through die cuts, which is the most entertaining thing in the whole wide world, I'm sure, and find some stuff to put on. But okay, so I have these miscellaneous ones from Echo Park. They are Happiness is Homemade stuff. And then I have this one from Simple Stories, which is apron strings. Oh, I went nuts over that one. Yeah, that one all came home. Almost. Although weirdly, it didn't have a sticker book. Does it not have a sticker book? I thought I got all of it, but I couldn't find a sticker book. Maybe scrapbook.com just doesn't carry the sticker book. But so I have this. I love this. Isn't that awesome? So I have this collection too, and Life is Short, Lick the Bowl. Yep. And I just love it, because that's pretty much how it goes. But so, this meatloaf was so good, and it's black beans and white beans and cornmeal and salsa and all kinds of stuff. And then we baked it up. We don't use oil of any kind, because we're fighting heart disease, and it promotes heart disease, not helps it. And so we don't use oil. Plus, now after not using oil for almost 5 years, you realize that if you accidentally get something with oil, you can taste it above all other flavors. It's really weird. I can smell oil, like when you go to town and you're outside, let's say a grocery store, and they're like deep fat frying stuff in the deli. You can just smell it in the air. We put oil in everything, oil and sugar, and everything's got it, and we're told that we have to have it. You can't cook without it. You can't eat without it, and all this. And it's funny because I would have starved to death for the last 5 years if that was truth. And actually, our food tastes so much better now that we don't use oil. But the secret about not using oil is that you don't have to clean that crap up anymore. If you've ever had to clean oil out of your kitchen, and if you cook with oil, you have to clean oil out of your kitchen. It is so nice to never have to cook or clean up oil anymore. And so yes. But okay, so we're using ephemera. I'm using these videos to learn to talk and walk, because I can't think and talk and stuff like that. That's why I was saying I probably would do better if I had other people here, because I would be responding instead of trying to come up with something to say. Made from scratch. Oh, I like that. And enjoy. These are our sun-dried tomatoes. I'll try to put photos and stuff in the videos. The last of our heirloom tomatoes, and we had this was our first full-on year. I've grown tomatoes before, but like one plant, one plant, and it's sort of kind of dead. This year we grew, oh, I don't even know how many that we grew this year, and we had hundreds of tomatoes, and so we dried most of them, but we've had fresh tomatoes out of the garden since June, and so we just used the last ones, and it was so sad. All right, so I don't think I'm going to use the made from scratch one because it's flour and sugar, so that'd be a good one for baking. I do like this flour one though, so I think I'll use that. And what about just some other tags? I kind of did a tag page the other day, but I could do another version of it and do something like that. Oh, I kind of like that. Anyway, so we dried a whole bunch of them, and they were so good. We got to use them because I killed my dehydrator that I've had for like 20 years. And I had to get a new one. And luckily it must have been a good one that I bought because they still sell it. And so I ordered another one, and now I have twice as many trays, so I can do twice as many at one time. I was telling Joshua yesterday, we need to get our butts out there and pick some kale and have kale chips. One of my favorite things. It's weird what favorite...
It's 9:15.
It's 9:15. What your favorites are now. But one of my favorite things is kale chips. Cheesy kale chips. And although I'll be honest, I'm one of those freaky people that doesn't think that... that nutritional yeast tastes like cheese. I don't think it tastes like cheese. I think it tastes buttery. So I use it as a buttery type flavor instead of cheese. But whatever, that aside, cheesy kale chips are my favorite, one of my favorite things in the whole wide world to eat. And so having 8 trays instead of 4 will be great because I can plow through 4 trays of kale chips with my eyes closed. Which is okay because you're allowed to do that. So will it look weird if I don't have that under? No. So I just need to put something there. What if I did something like that? I have to have it balanced, whatever. And then I can journal around. But now we'll use the yellow. Anyways, I love kale chips, and they're really good, and they're so easy to make. You just take kale, and then you take, in a bowl, you mix nutritional yeast, water or broth, some onion powder, some garlic powder, whatever seasonings you like, and then you kind of smear it onto the kale chips and let them dry. And that's essentially it. And yeah, I can mow through them like nobody's business. And it's always funny because I am one of those people that are sensitive to niacin, I think, which is, you're not allergic to anything. It just means that you got a whole bunch of B12 and stuff like that out of your nutritional yeast, well, whatever you're eating, and you flush. You turn pink, you blush. And so it's always funny because if I eat too many of them, that'll happen. And oh God, that's funny. I enjoy romantic walks through the produce department. That's us. Usually it's Lowell's though. That's always funny because we always laugh. Well, before the COVID nonsense hit, our dating was going to Lowe's to get whatever we needed to fix whatever's broken around the house. And so I guess the produce section would be it now. I don't know. Dale does all the shopping now, thankfully. He's wonderful that way. And because I don't go to town in this shit. And anyways, it's on his way home, so he does. And I need a tab. Come on, there's got to be a tab. Like something I can turn into a tab. What do we got? Oh, a fork. We could hook a fork to it. See, I want to make that into like a pocket. That's cute. Oh, that's cute. Fresh baked family favorite. Oh, I could do something like that. Family favorite. Appetizer. Oh my goodness. I should have gone through all this. Oh well, whatever. How do you guys deal with negativity? Are you like me? And frankly, I don't deal with negativity. If you're going to be negative, I just cross you off. And I know that's not an adult way of handling it, but honestly, my life is much better when I just don't feed into it, because I, in general, am the type of person who will fight back and defend. You don't agree with me, or not even so much that you don't agree with me, but I get upset because my opinion doesn't matter, your opinion matters, and so I feel like I have to defend myself because you attacked what I thought. Well, anyways, you get what I mean, I think. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying doing this well, but just basically, like, you'll have an entire conversation with somebody. Good parts, bad parts, or whatever. You do something. It doesn't even matter what it is. It could be I'm posting on my Facebook page how I made the Mexican meatloaf, all right? And I will have said that I prefer black beans over pinto beans, and I really just don't understand why you would use pinto beans in this when black beans, in my opinion, taste better. Okay? And I always, let's say that's it. And so invariably you'll get it, because it's my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm not saying that if you like pinto beans over black beans, you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't understand it because I like black beans better. And invariably you get these people who feel like they have to defend themselves to other strangers online. Well, you don't understand. Pinto beans are awesome. And if you don't agree that pinto beans are awesome, you're a negative person. You are, you make people, that's very stereotypical negative or whatever. And you're just like, all I said is that I prefer black beans over pinto beans. What? Anyways, and so what is your response to negativity online? I used to bury myself in the sand. Oh my gosh, something I said upset this person. I'm the meanest person in the whole wide world, because even though I did not mean to insult the pinto bean lovers, and it was not what my point was, or any of that kind of stuff. One person is very upset with me. I need to shut down my page and never speak again. And that's how I used to handle negativity. And now, I feel like I've grown up quite a bit, except for I handle it in probably a more childish way. And I just am like, you know what? I didn't ask for your opinion. You don't have to be here. You don't have to read what I do. You don't have to watch what I do. You don't have to be involved in anything that I do. Close the screen, walk away. You can say, God, that woman, to anybody you want. But in general, I'm like, if you don't have a positive thing to say, no, it's not even that. I don't even mind negative negative criticism, because that's healthy too. What I hate is somebody who has to voice their opinion about something that was not what was being talked about. And it's like, you have to love pinto beans. I'm going to make sure you understand when I am done commenting, I am going to tear you apart because you don't love pinto beans as much as I love them. And so, like I said, and this is a tangent. Can you tell it's a tangent this morning? In general, I used to just go, oh my gosh, I'm going to shut all my stuff down and not do it. And I had that moment yesterday about doing these videos. I'm like, God, I'm going to have to censor every freaking thing that comes out of my mouth, because everything that I say, somebody is not going to like. And I just have to be so careful. And this person and this, and I thought, you know what? That's why I haven't done videos for years. Is because it became exhausting to make sure that you weren't insulting people of religion or of scrapbooking or of politics or of purple or, had children, didn't have children, have cats, don't have cats, like dogs, don't like cat, whatever. And at some point I found like, I'm just a bad person and it's too much stress. I don't deal with negativity. I don't have a thick skin at all. I don't have a thick skin. If you leave me a negative comment, you're going to eat me up for at least 24 hours. Congratulations. You're going to get me. But one of the things that I have started doing, and like I said, probably childish, it probably is childish, is that I will just delete your comment. I will just ban you or block you from my page. And you're right. If you don't agree with me in a sense of a positive way, for example, you're a dog person and not a cat person. Instead of saying, well, how can you not like dogs? Dogs are the best thing ever. You're, whatever about dogs because you don't have a dog. Why not just say, well, I get why you like cats because that's how I feel about my dogs. That's it. That's all you got to do. Instead, people have an obsessive need to, you don't like dogs. You're a hater. You're a hater. And I'm like, no, I just don't like going outside in the winter anymore to let the dog out. I've had dogs all my life. Anyways, we've gone from pinto beans to dogs. Who haven't I insulted yet? Okay, so I've so far insulted pinto bean lovers and dog people. And so, anyways, I'm wondering how you guys handle negativity. Does it just stunt your entire day and you spend it trying to dig yourself out of the people hate me, bottomless pit? Or are you pretty, philosophical about it and you're just like, whatever, people aren't agree with everything, I found a quote this morning that said, feelings are just visitors. Have them and then let them go. Do you let go easily? I'm just kind of curious about that. And in general, most people tell me, oh, just suck it up. Let it go. They aren't worth your time. You're worth more. And I disagree. I think that in general, everybody's worth the time. I just think that you should spend your time more wisely. If you don't like something that somebody says, instead of bothering with explaining why what they said is wrong, not what you agree with, whatever it is, just don't watch them anymore or follow their page or whatever that is. Just stay away from them, because if there's something that I say, trust me, I am totally okay with you not telling me about it and never watching my videos again. It's okay. I understand. It's okay. I will not be angry with you because I will never know what that is. And if that's burying my head in the sand, I guess that's the way it is. But, You ever notice how if you don't deal with that kind of stuff, your day mysteriously gets better? Yeah, it's weird. Go figure. Um, I'm gonna have to pause here, and because I know that my ATG is empty, and I need to change that. And there's no sense in y'all watching that. Plus, this is getting to be big. I have to figure out how to shrink my gigabytes. I'll be right back. Okay, back with a full gun. Anyways, can you tell that somebody did that to me lately and I didn't handle it well? Actually, that's not true. I think I handled it pretty well, because what I could have done is gone into a long rant on how you took a 2-second sentence and turned it into an entire what I meant and what I belief. And I would explain how, no, I understand what that is. I understand that not everybody's that way, blah, 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 and all this thing. And then I thought, that's what you got out of that entire thing, was that one snippet? Whatever. So I let it go. But it eats up at me. Are you guys like that, or y'all just like, girl, suck it up? What if we don't do them on the straight? I think it should be like kind of crooked, right? So I'm thinking, so that was my thing, and I'm sure that I will probably get all kinds of things that, most of them don't even leave comments. They send messages. You don't understand. So I'm always like, well, if that's such a popular thing, why didn't you, leave it public? But I don't know. I guess I don't know. I take everything to heart like it's a personal affront, and I need to just figure out that some people just have to do that. I understand. My opinion is not the end all be all, but it's still my opinion, and you're not going to agree with it. I'm okay with that. So let's do, see, and I can just have it kind of sticking out so you know to go get something. What do you think? That sound good? I don't know, but it still eats me up. I don't want to be right. I don't have a problem with that. I just have a problem with people who tell me what I meant about something when that's you don't know what I meant. You can't possibly deduce that my entire belief system is summed up in one sentence. And if you do, well, you're shorting not only yourself but me, but no, in general, it hurts my feelings. And congratulations, you got your last word in, whoever you are, and that's okay, right? Everybody deserves that one feeling of getting the last word in, right? So that's my rant for the day. And in general, I do this. I write it all down. I bitch and complain and I moan. And then I throw that piece of paper in the garbage. And then tomorrow it'll go away. And now I can bitch and moan to you guys. And it's over tomorrow. No, I always feel like I have to justify myself. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't mean to say what you don't agree with. I didn't mean to upset somebody. I didn't. And what ends up happening is I come right back to the, why in the hell am I doing these videos or that blog post, and I'm doing all this for free and it takes hours to do all of it and yada yada, and I'm hurting, people hate me even though it's one person, not in general everybody, and that kind of thing. Oh my gosh, yada yada yada, and so that I'm dramatic that way. Go me. Man, I hope nobody's like me, because it's not fun. I work on it though. That's kind of cute, right? And then I'm going to figure out a doodle border that goes there, but I won't do that on camera because I'm a really slow doodler. And so, yeah. Anyways, back to food. So we got, let's see, this one goes, no, we'll be, anybody else have to have things like in perfect lines and it's, I don't know, it's like, it doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, it does. It's not perfect to anybody but you. I know. But my head's like, don't glue it down. Don't. That's part of why I'm doing these videos, is because what I do is I would have picked these tags out, right? And then I would have set it here for like a day. And then I would have picked out some more and I just set it here for another day. Because what happens is that I'm afraid that I will wish I had done something else. Like some brilliant idea will come to me. And if I don't wait till that brilliant idea comes to me, then I will have screwed up my entire page, even though really, oh my gosh, get a grip. But that's what happens. And I don't talk and walk well, so this whole thing in general is taking a lot longer than it would have. And but yeah, so I don't know if what is your favorite burger? I don't care if it's a regular hamburger or not. Like I said, we don't eat meat. There's a bazillion health reasons why not to eat meat, but you know what? You do you. My favorite burger, though, this one was pretty good, but there's a black bean burger that we make, and there's nothing really that special about the burger itself. I mean, it tastes good, obviously, but it's topped with this roasted red peppers, avocado stuff, and it's so good. But I had quit making it for the longest time because in general, I'm relatively lazy and I don't like to make buns. And so now that we have buns, I can make those more often. So, yeah. Enjoy. Oh, I like this. Hold on. That'll pull that over to here. Enjoy good food, right? Because you should enjoy good food. When you are eating, you should enjoy it. We were talking about the things that we miss, and it's funny how you actually miss flavors, not actual items. It's like I used to be a cheeseaholic, and I always thought cheese was going to be the downfall. How do I give up cheese? And what I learned is that I just missed the creamy, salty of it. And so I found ways to work around it. It's like, our favorite steaks were the fatty, yummy steaks. And we used to marinate them in the soy sauce and that kind of stuff. And when I asked my husband about it, I said, what do you miss most about the steaks? And he's like, that fatty, salty. And I went, exactly. You don't miss the steak. You miss what it was seasoned with, or the fat, or whatever. And so it's always funny when people are like, oh, I couldn't give up an insert of food here. And you're like, okay, but be honest. What is it about it that you couldn't give up? And is there a way to get that flavor with something else? And usually there is. There's either a texture replacement or a flavor replacement or something like that. There's not too many things. Now, don't get me wrong. A hunk of Gruyere cheese with some homemade Italian hard salami. Oh yeah, 5 years later, still haunts my dreams. And the thing of it is like I tell people all the time, don't become a purist. There's nothing more awful than a sanctimonious purist. We are 99.9%, and I throw that 0.9 in there as a joke. It's probably closer to 99%. whole food plant-based for health, because I would like my husband, who is 8 years older than I am, to live a long and healthy, happy life, and my son to have a long and healthy, happy life, and all of that. So we choose to eat as close as we can to quote unquote perfect. But here's the thing. If we were not eating the foods that made us sick every meal for every day, I really don't feel like there isn't a reason to have that Gruyere cheese with hard salami for your birthday. Why not? You know? Or I haven't yet, because I still have enough control over myself to not do it. But if I wanted to, I could. My problem is I am one of those people that if you give me an inch, I will take a mile. So if and I have a husband and a son who do everything to make me happy instead of what protects me and makes me healthy. And so I have no support in the fact of stopping what will happen. And I know that if I have that Gruyere cheese and Italian salami for my birthday, that I will justify it for my anniversary and for Halloween and for Christmas and for Dale's birthday and Joshua's birthday. And, and before you know it, you've kind of justified it into being an every month, every week, every day kind of thing. Well, it's the only thing I eat, right? And then there's that slippery slope of, well, once you've tried that, well, you might as well have one good thing of whatever it is. And so, I was hoping I had one more of the handwritten quotes, but I don't. Will it look funny if I don't have that? So I'll just leave it. Whatever. So to be honest, it's self-preservation that I don't have that Gruyere cheese and hard salami, because first of all, you can't buy just a piece of it. You know what I mean? It's like if I could just buy a bite of Gruyere and a bite of salami, I'd be set. Because, yes, that's really all I want. But you can't. You have to buy a block, and you have to buy an entire stick. And so if I'm going to have to buy a block, well, I'm not going to throw it away, because that stuff's expensive. So, well, and you can't save it. And before you know it, you've eaten a whole bunch, and your husband's eaten a whole bunch.
It's
and
9:45.
And it's 9:45. And your son's eaten a whole bunch. And then, yeah, it just takes over. So I just don't. But that was a long way of saying that here's the thing. Some is better than none. If you are the type of person who can just have a steak once a month on whatever special day that is, or even if it's just once a month, you're good. You can have your steak once a month and you're good. I say do it. And oh my gosh, everybody just went, ah, you don't believe in that. No, I don't. But I get it. And so to me, if I can get you to eat 90% of the time whole food plant-based and clear up your heart disease and clear up your diabetes and clear up your cancer and clear up your, I don't know, there's a whole list of things. In the meantime, and you're only having that steak that you said you couldn't give up, so you didn't even try this once a month, I am going to be down with that. Because although I think that you shouldn't torture yourself by eating the old stuff, I also think that if you're doing something, it's better than the person next to you who's doing nothing. And in general, I find two types of people when it comes to whole food plant-based. They are feel like you either have to be 100% in or 100% against it. And that really makes me sad. And no matter how much I post the food because I want people to realize you just don't get it. There's a lot to eat and it's really good. You're not going to starve. In fact, if you like to eat, you're going to get to eat a whole bunch more. But, I don't know. I wish people would ask more questions instead of making more decisions. Does that make sense? Like, well, do I have to? I wish people would ask the question, do I have to be 100%? No. Do I personally think you should? Well, what is your health level? I mean, are you taking medications for heart disease? Are you on insulin for type 2 diabetes? Are you a recovering cancer patient? You know, then the answer to that would be yeah, because aren't you tired of that stuff? You know, the average person is on some form of heart disease medicine, you know, for cholesterol, blood pressure, something along that lines, for half of their life. Most people now start taking medications when they turn 40. If you make it to 80, you understand that that's a pill a day for 40 years. Really? Are you sure that's what you want to do? You really sure that a little bit of this is too much? I don't know. I guess I'm greedy with my money, and I just can't imagine giving the medical community money for 40 years, 50 years. And I don't like to go to the doctor, so I try not to give myself reasons to go to the doctor and stuff. But I wish people would just try it. Give me 30 of your days, and I'll fill you full of good food. And let's see how you are at the end. How about a week? Do you think you could do it for a week? I bet you could do it for a week. You know, go for a week, eat something on the weekend. Go for another week, eat something on the weekend. You know, see where it takes you. I would just love to see that, you know. And if there's something you're like, oh, I can't give up grandma's apple pie. Well, I have two things about that. First of all, apple pie is 100% makeable plant-based. Yep. 100%. 2, the reason you loved grandma's apple pie is because grandma made you her apple pie. I miss my grandma's pot roast. It was not the greatest pot roast, but my grandma made that pot roast. And so it was the best pot roast in the whole wide world. So my brain says that pot roast is delicious. I want to make it. No, I loved it because my grandma loved it. And my grandma loved me. She would not want me to continue eating that pot roast if she knew. But number 3, so be a good person to yourself. Treat your health like it's important and it matters for 6 days. On that 7th day, enjoy grandma's apple pie. And I hope that your grandma is the one serving you that apple pie, because honestly, that really is the best ingredient. So I am going to go off and put the date on this page like this. I am out of these 2 things, and then I'm going to doodle a border and do my journaling. I did want to show you real quick before I finish up here. I did go back and I added a little wax seal here, and I fixed that. It's not any straighter, so I don't know why I didn't just glue it down, and I added some little bobbly things and I edged it. So I want to show you that. But anyways, tomorrow I will show you what I finished on this page, but I'm going to go because I feel better. Thank you for listening to me, because nobody else does. And I take things very, very personal, and I get it. And I'm trying to, you know, embrace those feelings and then let them go. And maybe that's part of this. I also hope that if you have questions about changing your health and stuff, that you realize that this much is better than this much. And you know, you're so worth it. You want to spend half your life sick, half your life taking medications, half your life paying a medical system that is designed to not help you get well? Or do you want to eat a lot of good food, be healthy, be thinner, feel better, not hurt? Oh, did I tell you about what it does for your pain? Ask me about having to used to crawling to the bathroom because my body hurts so bad. Yeah, ask me about that. So I hope if you have questions, you'll ask questions. All of my links are down below. And again, I thank you so much for listening. And I do value what you have to say. Just be careful of how you say it. I never set out to stereotype somebody. And I never set out to hurt anybody's feelings, but I also should have the right to have an opinion about what I think about things. And unless I'm like, you suck because you're whatever, you have the right to call me out on that. But otherwise, if you just don't like it, just do the same thing I'm going to do. Take that feeling of how could she and let it go. All right? All parts, not the little pieces. You all have a great day. Go dry some tomatoes. Go grow some tomatoes. You got to grow a tomato. I'm going to try to grow them this winter. I'm out of here because I'll just keep blathering. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day. Go have some pumpkin spice something. That sounds good, doesn't it? I don't know. Frappes. Once a year at City Brew, their pumpkin frappe thing. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye.